Okay, I'm gonna start this then. I don't know if I'm on time, if I'm early, if I'm a little bit late. I don't know. And my camera is playing up quite a bit at the moment. It keeps cutting out and coming back on, and cutting out and coming back on. So if Beanie touches it, that's bye-bye live. This isn't going to be my standard like Friday live. As the thumbnail says, as I think the title says, although I'm not 100% sure because I can't remember what the title is. I need to talk. I need to talk. I need to talk. I need to talk. So yes, I will acknowledge people as best I can. So I can say hello to Whisper and Wriggles and Marie. She's going to kill me. Jennifer, Beverly, Karen, Jen. Thank you all. Just got the correlation with the saltwater taffy. The correlation? The basics are that if I don't talk about this, I get major nightmares. Major nightmares. Even as an adult, I wake up sweating, panicking, in a ridiculous state, despite the fact that I can talk about it and it's fine. But the nightmares, they ain't so fine. And I've found over the years, the only way to stop the nightmares is talk. Even if it's with a post person, which it has been before, a postman in fact, two postmen back in the past, I've spoken to about it. Not in huge length, but I've spoken and it's helped. And I've also noticed as an adult, if I don't talk, nightmares. So this is where we're at. Marie's sending daggers, and I don't know why. Is that like evil daggers? You're going to kill me for calling you Maria by accident. I'm so sorry. Brenda, hi. Talk away, dear. I will. Hello, Deborah. Thank you, people who are joining. Even if there was only one person here, I'd still just chat away. So, sorry. Yes, I have my glasses on because I'm not an emotional wreck as such, but I do have a slight headache and I didn't sleep brilliantly last night and I'm quite tired. So it was either this or doing that. On with the specs. Okay, so I'll bless you. I will explain this guy. This is Maggot. Oh, sorry, this is Maggot. Maggot. This is everybody. I will explain him. So what I'm going to do is, as soon as I finish this babbling, I am going to tell you my experience as best I can. And then I will turn to the chat. And I am hoping that there are one or two questions, because if I have a couple of questions, it's going to help a bit more. The last time that I said any of this out loud to an audience, I can give you the exact date because we had to write a piece on it in upper school, and this was my piece. And it was October 1996 that I stood up in front of the class and I read, I'm not going to read this out, I'm going to tell you. I read this out to the class, and that was the first time that I'd spoken publicly, properly. Because the one thing that I hate about this experience until a couple of years back, I'd never been able to talk to anybody because I was told to shut up, to leave it, get over it. It's in the past, leave it there. Which really hasn't helped. So, Jen, he's a glowworm, but his name's Maggot. but I'll get there. I'll get there. He doesn't have his innards. I so wish he did. I so wish he did, but he doesn't. But he's my maggot. Okay. Anybody that's in the chat right now, if anybody comes in and wants to know what the heck I'm going on about, please just tell them I'm telling my story or whatever. Questions at the end, because I'm not gonna look at that. I'm probably gonna look down a lot, look at my hands, look across the room, but I'm gonna aim at you guys as best I can. So here goes. March the 6th, 1986. I was 4 years old. At that time in the newspapers, they used to have special offers that if you collect the tokens in the newspapers, if you collect enough of them, when you've got them all together, you pay £1, £1 Great British pound, and you can take a ferry somewhere. I mean, you've got a list of destinations, but you can take a ferry somewhere. It was a great opportunity to go to Germany. My mother's family were there. My great-grandmother lived there. And so my father and my mother collected the tokens from the papers. And we went to Germany on a ferry. I do not remember the ferry going there. I really don't. I don't know whether I slept through the entire lot or what. I don't know. I don't remember going there. I remember some of the things that happened while I was in Germany. It was wonderful to see my great-grandmother. My great-grandmother, I used to call her Schätzchen, which means darling. Never called her Oma, which is German for grandma. I never called her great-grandma. I never called her by a name. I knew her as Schätzchen, darling. I loved her smell. I remember there was a big party outside, and there were all those polystyrene peanuts that you use for packing, covering the outside garden. and there was laughter and there was talking and there were kids who were all running around all over the place. I didn't understand the kids, they didn't understand me, but it didn't stop us having fun. I remember one day going out on a huge lake, I think, in a pedal boat. And I've got a photo, 2 photos of me in that pedal boat with Shetzian. Coming home, it was late. Unfortunately, we missed our ferry. We were supposed to get one that was 1 or 2 hours earlier, and we missed it. So we had to get the later one. And we were leaving from Belgium, port of Zeebrugge. And I remember being so tired that I was trying to lay on the back seat of the car. And I remember kind of looking up from the back seat with half open eyes as we went onto a tunnel with orange lights going past us, or we were going past them. And I think it was my mother, that said, "We're on the boat now, we're on the ferry, going home." And that was it. I don't know if I was picked up out of the car. I don't know if I walked out the car. I don't know. I remember being out of the car and walking up some steps. And I say walking up some steps again. I don't know if I was being carried by my father or if I actually walked up them, but I knew it was passengers only that we went in, and then we went into this huge lounge with seating that was all round poles, so it was like circular, no armed sofa kind of thing, plastic jobby. And I don't know how long we'd been in there, but I do remember at that point, that's when I remember at that point that I remember that there was not only myself, there was my mother, my father, and my mother's best friend and her husband. So there were 5 of us all together. And it was only at that point that my memory says, oh yeah, Caroline was there, Nick was there. I remember being so tired, so tired. And my mother and father wanted to go off to the duty free in the ship and left me with Caroline and Nick. And I don't know if Nick stayed in the lounge looking after our coats and things or what, but I thought this was prime opportunity to play up. Because, you know, your parents aren't there, let's play up. And my first thing I wanted to do was go and investigate the toilets. Why not? Oh, got to investigate a toilet, right? Woo! So Caroline said that she'd take me, and I don't know how far away the toilets were. I don't even remember that bit, but I do remember when I was in the toilet. I don't know if it was my first or not, but I saw a sanitary bin. You know that you put your sanitary products in. And I'm going to take a sip of my tea, and I apologise. And yes, it's the first sip, so it's going to be a slurp. I'd forgotten I didn't make tea. I made a chocolate. Okay, so anyway. Now this next bit, I don't know if it's made up or if it really is my memory, because the amount of times where I've said it and my mother said it's bull, but she wasn't there. So I honestly don't know if it's rubbish or not. But I remember sitting on the toilet doing my business. No, I don't know what the business was, but I was doing my business. Might have been accountancy. And in the next cubicle, and there are only like 2 or 3 cubicles at the very, very most. In the next cubicle, one of the sanitary bins caught on fire. And Caroline pulled me out of the cubicle that I was in, very, very quickly wiped myself and pulled my knickers up. And there was nothing to put the fire out with. And all of a sudden there was a jerk. And Caroline held on to one of the sinks and held me. And then there was another jerk, and we got thrown against some double doors. And there were those doors where you push the bar down, like an emergency exit thing, like you push the bar down and it opens the doors. And as we got pushed against them, we must have pushed one of the bars. And with that last jerk, and with the push of the doors, we went from that to that so quickly. And the doors open and Caroline grabbed me, and I don't know if she was still holding onto a sink or something else, but we were looking down at water. It was black, couldn't see a yarn thing. There was water. And at that point I woke up, like properly woke up. And I remember Caroline constantly telling me it was going to be all right. It's all right. Don't worry. And at one point, she got down somehow as low as she could, and she looked into my eyes and she said, "Now I'm going to jump. You stay here. And when I'm down there, I'll call and then you jump and you come to me and I'll catch you, okay?" And I remember being scared at that point. And I kind of nodded. And I must have been holding on to the bit of the wall that the doors were attached to, like the ledge kind of thing. And all I saw below me was water. And then Caroline jumped. But as she did, I grabbed her and we both went down and we both went into the water. I lost consciousness. When I awoke, it was so cold. It was so cold. I am so grateful that I don't remember the sounds. So grateful. I remember Caroline speaking to me, but I have no knowledge of the screams and the crying and the shouting from other people. But in that water, we were in what to us was like a tunnel. Kind of like that. We were down here. There was plenty of ridge left. We weren't out in the open. And I don't know what Caroline was holding on to, whether she was holding on to anything and just treading water, or whether she was holding on to a bar or a fixed chair or a pole. I don't remember, but I remember that I was gripping onto her neck and I passed out. Came to again. And I remember a little girl in the water, older than me, but I knew she was a little girl. Now, I didn't remember what the girl looked like, how old she was, nothing. I just remember a little girl in the water, and Caroline kept on reassuring me, and she was reassuring this other girl. But there was a distance, not a huge distance, but there was a distance between us. And I passed out again. When I came to, Caroline was kind of shaking me, and she said, "There's a helicopter, there's a helicopter." And to me, it didn't mean anything. To me, I knew life looking at planes and helicopters because my father loves them, and we'd go almost every weekend to go and look at helicopters and planes. So it meant nothing to me. But Caroline was saying, "Shout, wave, wave, shout." So I was going, "Hello, hello." And of course, we were under this tunnel. We couldn't be seen, but we saw the helicopter with its lights in the night sky just going over. We weren't seen. We weren't heard. And I passed out. I have to say, it was very, very, very cold water. Very cold water. When I came to again, I was covered in a blanket. Face, arms, proper swaddling blanket. And someone moved the bit over my face. And I didn't recognise the three people that were around me at all. And I was gone again. Next, woke again with a swaddling blanket over me, but I think I was in an ambulance. And we weren't moving, but there was a woman crying, and a man next to me said, "Is this her?" and took off the blanket from my face again. And the woman said, no, that's not her. And the man covered me over again. Then I remember waking in the hospital. And this bit, I don't know if it really was my imagination or not. I don't know. But I was in a completely white room on a white bed with no bedclothes, like hospital bed. But everything was white and there was nothing in it. Nothing. No fixtures, no fittings, no nothing apart from the light and the bed. And I was on the bed. And I moved onto my side and looked as a doctor walked in, all in white, wearing trainers. So one thing that I still find really weird to this day, white coat, white trousers, white shirt, trainers. It was very weird. And I don't remember much after that. I really don't. I know that I was in that hospital in a very, very large cot next to my mother's bed. In the bed opposite was a young boy of 11 who I knew by his name, Martin. And I don't think he was injured, but he was in a bed. I got stuck in a cot. He was in a bed. And the nurses were coming by constantly with chocolates and sweets for me, and would take me to an activity room. And I made a clock for my mum out of a Dairy round container. Don't ask, I don't know, I don't remember. But all these chocolates and sweets that I was given, my mum would constantly say, go and give some to Martin. Go and give Martin that Kinder Egg. Go and give Martin the Kinder Bar. I was so annoyed. Those chocolates were given to me. Why was I supposed to give them to somebody else? No, didn't like it. I mean, I had to, but I didn't like it. But he was a kind lad, and I'd go over, give him Kinder Egg as an example. He ate the chocolate, saved me a little bit, but made the toy and gave me the toy out of it. My father apparently had been in another hospital because there were so many casualties. There weren't enough beds, enough room at the hospital we were in. But when I first saw him again, the first thing that I said to him as he picked me up and gave me a hug was, "Oh, Dad, you stink of beer." Which is no surprise because, as I said earlier in this tale, my mother and father went off to the duty free. I so hope you guys know what a duty free is. And while they were in there, when the boat jolted, somebody got thrown against some shelving and the shelving came down. When the second jolt happened, all the shelving came down. My mother was trapped under one lot of shelving. All the alcohol bottles were smashed all over the place. Alcohol was everywhere. So yeah, they got covered in alcohol. My mother, she had a great big gash taken out of her left leg. Great big gash. I think it was just one of her wrists was slit a few times. My father, not even a bruise. Not even a bruise. I have a video, one of the first that I put up here in YouTube, of me having a reunion with a lady named Gillian. Gillian was that little girl that was in the water with us, with Caroline and I. She was 16. She lost her parents and she lost her brothers. Martin, the lad that was in the opposite bed to us in the hospital, 11-year-old, lost his entire family. I came out with my mother, my father, and my mother's best friend and her husband. She saved me. Nick saved so many lives that night. So many didn't make it. There are other details, I guess, but I'll leave that to the questions. But this guy, Maggot, the story that goes with him and what I'm saying, and you guys don't have to believe anything. You take from it what you take from it. Before we went to Germany, my Oma, my grandmother, pleaded and begged my mother not to take me. And she kept saying, "You can't take Lisa. Please leave Lisa here. I'll look after Lisa. You go. Leave Lisa here." And apparently it was because she'd had a couple of nightmares that I had this guy and jumped over the side of the boat. And she was so scared. She didn't want my mother to take me. And my mother was, "Oh, don't be so silly. Oh, don't be so stupid," and took me. Now, my glowworm was the one thing that I held on to from, I think, from about a year old. I had a glowworm. I don't know if it was from birth or from about a year old. I had a glowworm called Maggot, and I took him to Germany with us. And I was clutching him when Caroline and I jumped. I don't remember that. I don't remember. But because of that, I lost my Maggot. When we came first back to home, we couldn't stay there because the journalists were all over the place. They wanted stories. We weren't safe at home because there were just too many journalists. So we stayed away from home for a couple of weeks before going back. And when we did go back, Oma was determined to get me another Maggot. And they sent a radio plea out. If anyone has a glowworm that they're willing to give 4-year-old Lisa, please phone in. And one little boy did. In the same town, one little boy came forward and said she can have my glowworm. Maggot Mark II. So I still have a glowworm. And now I'm going to get to the chat. But first I'm going to take a slurp. I've been seeing it out the corner of my eye going up, so I know there's still somebody there. Okay. Let me scrolly uppy. How far do I go? Oh, I actually go to the top. That's good. Okay. Okay. I wonder how many people are still in it. Flipping heck, 21 people. I didn't expect that. Okay. Karen, it's good that you want to talk about it. My spouse has PTSD and he rarely talks about his demons. If you don't talk about it, it doesn't take him away. But for me, it doesn't ease them a lot. It doesn't for everybody. Everybody has their own ways of coping. For me, I have to. Whew. I've been searching. You've been searching for a glowworm? You want a glowworm? Here is a question. I've seen the reunion video. Do you keep in touch with your rescuer? My rescuer, Caroline, doesn't want anything to do with me. I think when my mother and her fell out, I was part of my mother, so she didn't want to know. I reached out last when I was 23, 24. And I said to her, not only would I like to stay in touch, but I really would like details. I need to talk to somebody. And I'm pretty certain I no longer have it. But she did email me back and said, I don't want to talk about it. It's gone. Leave it where it's supposed to be. So that was the end of that. The reunion was with the little girl, who is now a woman. And I was so pleased to have found her and to know who I was in the water with, because only her, Caroline, and myself were in exactly the same predicament. We were in the same place. And it was great to have that bit of the puzzle solved. And for her, she thought I died. She'd gone through her life knowing that this 4-year-old little girl had died that night. And there I was. We went and did a reunion, so we both had something solved. And I stayed in contact with her for a couple of years. It's not the past, it is in the past and your present. Hi, Squish, if you're still here. Frogster, if you're still here, hiya, Froggy. And Vita, if you're still here, hello. I don't know who's still here and who isn't, so I'll say hello anyway. I would wave my wand, but it's up there, which would mean I'd have to get up. And Vita sending hugs. Okay, don't know why that was deleted, but I get the hint. Wait, what was deleted? What was deleted? There's no messages that have been deleted, darling. Marie, there is no message here that's been deleted at all. Susan, hello. Hello, Miss Susan. There's Heidi. What a horrific ordeal. I'm so sorry. I'm lucky. I'm a lucky one. I'm a very, very, very lucky one. Very lucky. That's noodly poop. Susan retracted her message. I'm not going to do the chat jumpy thing, but it's jumped twice, just me looking at it now. Susan, Ladybird, I'm so sorry you went to this terrible thing, and I'm sending you much love. Hi, Lisa. Again. Good morning, just catching up. Barb, duty-free, tax-free shop where they have lots of perfume, alcohol, and such. Yes, thank you, Barb. Deborah, oh my gosh, Lisa, what a traumatic thing to carry all these years. Squish, do you still have nightmares all these years later? Yes, every single year, and not on any other day. No other point in the year do I have that nightmare. It's literally on the night of the 6th, every single year, if I don't talk about it. And I thought, well, if I've got a YouTube channel, I can talk about it, right? Whew, still here. I'm here. Still here. Deborah, did you ever talk again to the little boy who lost his family and you gave chocolate to? Martin? See, this I can do. I don't know how well this is going to show up, but I have newspaper clippings that I can show you. And I'll show you Martin. I know my mother and father and I went to go and see him a couple of years later. And I remember he was playing with a train track, like proper model railway train track. And that's all I remember. Never stayed in touch. Heidi, I think it must have been YouTube. They've been deleting messages left and right in lives. Definitely nothing here. If a message gets deleted, it wouldn't have been me because I was talking. You saw me, I was talking here. But if one of my moderators was in here and deleted it, I'd be able to look at it. It will say message deleted. I click on it and it'll open up for me to read it. And then I can either leave it deleted or I can allow it and it would become showing. And there's no deleted messages. We're lucky to have you. I feel sorry for you, poor sods. Leanne. Hello, Lisa. Hello, Leanne. Noodly Bit. Noodly Bit. The amount of new names I give you. Has it made you afraid of water? No. Weirdly, I'm very, very drawn to water. Very drawn to water. But what it has done is made me claustrophobic. And I don't know if it's that or not, but I'm very, very scared of the dark, which is weird because I live like a mole. Right, the host and mod can see who did the deletion or hide. Now, I know Marie has sent me a mail, which I was going to get to. I can do that now very, very quickly. Marie, are you still here, Marie? I don't know if you're still here or not. Oh, no, no, no. Oh, Marie, please be here. Oh, Marie. No. Oh, no. Marie. Oh, no. No, no. Marie, I really, really hope you watch this replay. I really, really do. No one has deleted you. No one has taken offence to you. I've only got one member of staff in here, and no, they are not. No, 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 no. Marie, 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 nobody has deleted your messages. No. Oh my gosh, Marie. Well, you don't need to mention names. There's only one. See, now you've upset me even more. And I can't even read that out. I can't even read that out. So Marie's sure that her message has been deleted because it was found to be offensive. Nobody's deleted a message. Marie has now decided that she's not partaking in my lives anymore or commenting in my lives because she's taken offence, thinking that someone has taken offence at her. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. Let me finish my coffee and I will get back to this. I've got to deal with one thing at a time. One thing at a time. Oh, Marie. I don't know why you'd think that. I really don't. I don't know where your message went. I don't know what you did with your message. I don't know if you did it, if YouTube did it. I don't know, but I know it wasn't myself and it wasn't any of my staff members and there can't be anybody else to do it, but it wasn't seen to be deleted. Hang on. And she's gone. She's not even watching. Oh, Marie. Okay, back to the chat. Sorry, guys. Sorry. Host and mod can see who did the deletion or hiding. Yes. Barb, it is YouTube. It did it to me just now. Email her and tell her it is YouTube. I will. I haven't experienced it, so I can't even say it is this because I can't, but it's obvious it wasn't myself or anybody within the chat, so I don't know. Karen, I don't see any evidence of that. I'd hate to see her go away. I know, right? YouTube does this if they consider it a trigger word, and it did it to me just now as well. I do have trigger words in here that I will not allow, that Nightbot will pick up and get rid of. But even then, if Nightbot's deleted, excuse me, I'm so sorry. If Nightbot's deleted the message, I will still see person message deleted and I can still open it because they're just a mod. Heidi, yeah, Barb, it's done it to me too in a different live, and I was a mod. Gina, oh my goodness, I'm late here, but I can see you are upset. I have had this issue before. I think it's the same. Sounds like it with me coming in late. I can mention it to Marie. Jennifer, I hope someone reaches out to her. I hate to see her go. Yeah, but YouTube has their own trigger words as well. Well, that I don't know about. I don't know about that. Right. Shall we do some newspaper clippings just to bore you even more? There's 4-year-old Lisa shaking hands with royalty. That is Prince Charles, the next in line for the English throne. And that little clown doll that I'm holding was given to me by one of the nurses so that I had something to cuddle, something to hold on to. Okay. See, I haven't always been a podgy bird. I used to be skinny. So there's Caroline and Nick. Caroline is the one that saved me. And there's me, Maggot, and just over here, this is Smiling Jim, a real, not this fake rubbish Cabbage Patch rubbish kid, real Cabbage Patch Kid. And Smiling Jim sleeps with him in my bedroom. So that's that. So in this picture, we have Prince Charles again, my mother, my father, and myself, and then Nick, Caroline's husband. And there's Caroline and her father. There's a few of these that I would love reprinted so they're not folded and old, and get them actually protected, because some of these are faded so bad. There's the ferry when it was brought back up. So you see all of it's all crushed. So it literally had just started to come out of port and went. So that was that. You did, David, you did. But that might be a good thing, because, you know, tears and stuff, they ain't so good. So I'm going to read this bit, because this is my father's account. And you know what, Deborah? I'll answer yours just before I read this. So there's my father. Now this was done, I think, for the 20th anniversary, I think. I haven't got a date on this. I think it was the 20th anniversary. My father did a piece in the newspaper, which I was amazed at, because neither of my parents have ever wanted to talk. And even now, if I was to turn around to my father and say, can we talk about the ferry? No, just one bit. No, doesn't want to know. Hey, Sandy! So what I'm going to do is answer Deborah, and then I will read my father's account from that night, what he remembers. What caused the accident? Just like the Titanic, there were so many factors, but the main thing that did it all was that the doors were left open. They're called the bow doors, not the starboard doors, the bow doors. So the doors would have been like that, pointing out, and they were left open enough to have a car through. And as they went out of port, water rushed in, and as it rushed in, it went capsized. So many blame the captain. I don't blame the captain at all. Every supervisor, every manager has the poop put on their head and the blame put on them, but there were too many factors that went into it, and he cannot have held all of the blame. But he was thrown the blame in the end. He's the one. Oh, please tell me Marie's back. Marie, please tell me you're actually back. Ingrid, I'm really happy to talk about this, sweetie. My dad was on the MS Achille Loro when it caught fire and sank. Horrific. Thank goodness an oil tanker picked them up. My dad also needed to talk. Good man. Are you coming over, or are you going to stay there? Because, oh, and if you hear a noise, I'd forgotten to say, if you hear a noise, it's the washing machine. I'm so sorry. You coming down? Bear with me. Please make your mind up, because I want to put my arm down. Move! Where are you going? Where are you going? was no good looking at. Oh, for heaven's sake. Marie's here. Please say Marie's here. Marie, please watch the replay. What did you miss? You missed what your email was all about. It had nothing to do with anybody, nobody whatsoever. Wasn't you, wasn't me, wasn't staff, wasn't anybody else in here. It was YouTube. I don't even know what your message said, and I would love you to say it again, whatever it is, because whatever it was never got seen to be deleted. Please say it again. Okay. Diarrhea of the mouth. Welcome to my world. Okay, so I'm going to read my father's account from the 20th anniversary, okay? A survivor of the Zeebrugge ferry tragedy has spoken about his experience after a memorial service was held to mark 20 years since the disaster. The Herald of Free Enterprise capsized off the Belgian port of Zeebrugge on its way to Dover after the bow doors were left open. A total of 193 passengers died when water filled the ship. Paul has recalled how he, his now ex-wife, their 4-year-old daughter, and 2 friends were rescued just in time. Paul said that they, like many others that day, had taken up an offer in the Sun newspaper for a bargain day trip to Belgium. He said, "When we went to the harbour, we were too late to get on the ferry we were supposed to be going home on. We had to wait for the next ferry, which turned out to be the ill-fated one." He described how shortly after they set sail, he and his wife Barbara were in the duty-free shop when they realised something was wrong. Their daughter was being looked after by the couple's friends in a lounge while they picked up some last-minute bargains. He said, "We felt the boat tip. Then it got sharper and the floor was dropping to the right. The next thing we knew, it was on its side. It happened in seconds." Paul grabbed hold of the counter, which was now above him, and his wife clung to his legs. He said, "Water started to flood in at an alarming rate, and when we looked up, we realised there was no way out because there were only sealed windows above us. I thought, the speed the water's coming up, we haven't got long left. It was so cold." At that point, his wife lost her grip, slipped under the water. "I thought that would be the last I saw of her." With the bodies of drowned fellow passengers floating beside him, Paul said he waited for what seemed like an eternity before hearing footsteps above him. Rescuers smashed the windows and dragged him to the safety of a fishing vessel, which took him ashore to hospital. It was not until the next day that he found out his wife, daughter, and friends were safe. They were smuggled home amid a media frenzy and tried to get their lives back to normal. "It's not something I want to dwell on. I just want to get on with my life." The 20th anniversary was marked in Dover with a commemorative service attended by survivors and relatives of the victims, which happens every year. So that was my father's account. And I need to put my glasses back on. Excuse me, you're as bad as Nobbles. Why does everybody want to dive off of my sofa? I don't know. I feel sick. It was a glitch in the matrix. Yes, it was. Quite a few of us in here, Marie, who can personally attest to YouTube's behaviour of deletions, etc. Marie, no worries. I have thick skin. I still want to know what you said, though. Try it again, please. Lisa, it's amazing what people can go through and still keep going. Sometimes we are tested to the utmost. Welcome in, Mason. Welcome in. So let's get another clip in. I've got to be careful what I can show you and what I can't. you have to dive bomb? You've just got rid of me light now. Thank you. So this is more royalty because this is the other prince. So we had two princes back then. So this is Princess Fergie, who was married to Prince Andrew. Royalty. There's myself, my father, and my mother. Okay. Now I'm getting really evil looks from Beanie. And I'm sure it's because my lap is covered in papers that she is either eager to get on or wants them off so she can be here instead. This was the Prime Minister at the time, Margaret Thatcher. And apparently I thumped her on the nose with my clown doll as she went to give me a hug, apparently. I don't know if that's true or not. But she was the Prime Minister at the time. And for over here, a very, very famous Prime Minister. And even some Americans have heard of her. That's Margaret Thatcher. And there's a colour version of myself with the Prince Charles. Brenda, don't make me laugh. Oh, I've got a cat coming in. Are you coming in for a cuddle or... Don't sit on me papers, please. Go on then. If you wish to. I'm not going to stop you, am I? You're halfway there. Just move your bum. Just kind of plant your bum and squidge. Plant and squidge. There you go. Okay, right, that's one down. I don't know how well this is going to pick up. So there's the title. How could we not know Margaret Thatcher? Well, I don't know what you guys know and what you don't. But I know she's very famous over here, and I knew some of you guys know who she was. But this is the car deck. This is the mangled cars. So it just wasn't a little bump and over. It was over. So that's the car deck. And this was before she got pulled onto the straight and narrow. That was in the water. Now, is it this one? Or is it another one? No, I'll show you on another one, I think, although I might come back to this. So if you imagine up here, if you're anywhere on this part of the ship, you're kind of okay. So, well, I say kind of okay. You're not. But if you're on the other side of the ship, yeah. Don't worry, I can't go through all of this. This is the lounge. That's where I was before I needed the toilet. Needed the toilet. That is right way up. As the rescuers came in, that's what they saw. Hi, Jill. 1986. 86. My brain's gone. March the 6th, 86. Can I show this bit? Right. I've got quite a few page 3 girls in here, and I don't know if you guys know about page 3 girls. Okay, you want to see the lad? There's the lad. That really surprises me, David. That really surprised me. Martin was the sole survivor of 3 generations. 3 generations. I don't know how clear that shows up, but that's what's left of the... Oh, I can't even think what it's called. What do you call it? Where the captain stands at the head of the ship. The bridge. It's there in the corner, Lisa. Read. But that's the bridge when it was all pulled up. That's what's left of the bridge. I just realised I'm old enough to be your mum. Everyone's old enough to be my mum. I'm a baby. I was trying to work that out too. I was in my first of 3 marriages. Oh, flipping heck. We won't talk about the others, Jill. Just talk about the current. It's the one that matters. You're not going to be able to see that clearly, so I won't show that. Same here. Cartoon representation. So you can see down in that corner how far it got before it went over. In that sense, we were so lucky that we were so close to land. So close to land. My hands are so cold. It's really difficult to hold these pages. Toilets look like a typical bloke's toilets, really. Hi, Claptrap. Welcome in, welcome in. What's the time? Gosh, I've been... Oh, page 3. I'm going away from that one. I'm not that kind of channel. Not yet, anyway. There's little Martin again. Poor little sod. Now, I'm amazed that, yes, of course, the papers and the news were all over this. It was classed as the Titanic of the 1980s. The media coverage was massive. The weird thing that even to this day, I don't understand, I can't grasp it. Our family, where we all survived, our family had more coverage than anybody else. Yes, there were bits in the papers about other people, and Martin was in there a few times. We made front page so many times. We made the double spread so many times. We had the media crazing after us so much. And I still don't get it. I don't get a lot of things, you know that. Hi, Amir. 86. I was married 2 years already. 20 years old. Oh my goodness, I'm old. Oh, you're so ancient. We'll bring it up in the interview in a couple of hours, Ingrid, about how ancient you are. Deborah, since it was so cold in the water and such, do you have any triggers with icy water on you? I don't know. I have nearly drowned before after that. So I've nearly drowned twice. Once in the sea, once in a swimming pool. But I've got no fear with water, and it doesn't bring anything back. It doesn't scare me as such. I'm not overly keen on swimming with my head under the water, but that's more because I can't see what's underneath. I've got no problem walking in the sea as long as I've got something on my feet so I don't tread on crabs. That I know of, no. Ingrid, that then means that I'm old too, as I'm only 2 hours younger. I wonder if that means years. That'd be so cool if you knew to the hour how old you were to somebody. I missed, what was the name of the ship? The ship was called the Herald of Free Enterprise, and it left the port of Zeebrugge. So it's known as the Zeebrugge ferry disaster. No good showing you that one or that one. Oh, there you go. Look, there's his one and only front page. Bless him. There's the boy that I refuse to share my chocolate and sweets with because I'm a mean biznitch. Nasty, nasty, nasty girl. There's only a couple left, and I don't think I can show you them all. Oh, this is going to be too big. It's going to be too big. But there's the ship from above on its side. It was all, they put it down to the bow doors being left open. I've got a picture of the captain here, and I've just covered him over. There he is. But there was so, like I said, same it's a similar thing with the Titanic that happened with us. There were so many, well, if that had been done, then that would be fine. If that had been done, that'd be fine. The good thing that came out of this disaster is that now, since then, and because of that, every ship that you go on, if you were to go on a ship, can now not leave, cannot start its engines properly until the safety checks have not only been completed, but the doors are shut. There's a special locking mechanism, and I can't remember what it's called, special locking mechanism, that if the doors are open, the engines can't start at all. And that's all because of this. So new safety measures have now come into play because of this. So there's good with the bad. If you make a mistake, you learn from a lesson. That's not going to show you anything. I think one more. Is there just the one more? Just double checking. Oh, you've got boobies again. Hang on. Page 3s are all over the place. Who needs page 3s? There we go. It's the last one. There's your last one. Maybe someone was smoking in the toilets for the sanitary bin. I've got no clue. It's a huge possibility, Squish. But then there's also quite the possibility that, like, my mother was certain of, it was all in my mind. I don't know. Ever since, from like middle school upwards, I've thought maybe someone was smoking and they put it in the sanitary bin and that's what caught fire. That was my only thought. I just say thank you. You are here and we all love you very much. It's because you're strange people. I'm still 39 and vintaged, not ancient. Oh, is that what we are? We're vintaged, Mare. Vintaged? Vintaged makes me think of something that tastes nice, and I don't think I would. I wouldn't want to taste me. I like that number, and do not believe anything that Penny says. Okay, we're not believing Penny. Don't believe Penny. Heidi, on the other hand. David, why are there never any page 3 books? I know, right? Right. I mean, there was a reason, but right. Jennifer, agree with Ingrid, so thankful. Now, Heidi, no fighting in my chat, please. So that is that. And yes, I was 4. And no, I don't remember everything. And I don't know what from my memories is made up. And I don't know what is real. But I can tell you what I can tell you. And like I said earlier when I was telling you, I am so, so grateful that I don't have the memories of the sounds. I don't hear the smashing. I don't hear the water. I don't hear the shouting, the screaming, the crying. I don't remember the dead bodies. That I'm grateful for. That I am grateful for. I agree with David. Deborah wants page 3 boys as well. Maybe we should get together and start this thing, huh? Jill, did you go to the I've never been. Jill, I would love so much to go to one. They have it every single year. And 15 years ago, I was speaking to my mother, and she'd never been, because she doesn't like talking about it. And she turned around and said that for the 25th year, she really wants to go to the memorial service in Dover. I think I'd want to go to the one in Belgium. And I was so eager, and I asked her if I could go with her, and she said, well, yes, of course, you'd have to go with me. And we'd have to do a night over, because there's no way I'm driving back after that. And I said, I'm all for that. I'd really look forward to it if that's the right wording. Never happened. I won't go into why it didn't happen, but it didn't happen. And then the 30 years one came along, and I did something. I did the reunion, which is in the videos. And I think what I'll do, I'll link it in the description after this. I don't think I did that yet, but I'll link it in the description after this, because the video's there to see of the reunion at the 30-year mark. I really do want to go to one of the memorial services, and I think the only one that I can go to now is the 40-year one. I mean, I could go any year if I had the ability. I could go any year, But really, if you're going to go to something like that, it's probably better to go to one of the bigger ones. So my next one would be the 40-year. Anyway, if you were 4 in 1986, that makes you the same age as my ex. Yay, exes! I'm an ex. I'm an ex of many things. I'm surprised you weren't invited. It's not an invitation thing. You just go. You just turn up. There's no invitation. What's it? I suppose the people that were crew or family that lost, they have more right to be there. But I know I have as much right as anybody else because I was there. So that's not quite the right wording, but I hope you know what I mean. Squish, I hope Martin has had a great life, even though he suffered so much. He suffered so much. He didn't have a bruise on him, bless him, but he lost everybody. Everybody. Gillian, the girl that was in the water with me, lost her family, her closest family, gone. At 16, she then owned a house. She had to finish school at 16 and start work straight off because she had to pay for the house. The mind is an amazing thing and it can protect you. It can also bug you up. I've never been to a 9/11 World Trade Tower memorial or ever completely listened to the list of names because I know too many names. I'm lucky that I don't know anybody. I'm very, very lucky that I don't know anyone from the ferry that died. I think it'd probably be too much if I knew somebody. We were in contact for years after with one of the main nurses that looked after my mother and I in the hospital. And every single Easter and Christmas, she'd send huge hampers to us full of chocolate. Sorry, it's Beanie. Full of chocolate. Belgian chocolates. Oodles of it. Even when my sister came to be, she used to do one for me, one for my sister, or a giant one with 2 things of each in for my sister and I to share. Stayed in touch for years. Deborah, when the 40 is coming up, don't even go there. Don't even go there. Don't. When the 40 is coming up, we'll get you the funds to go. I'm sure I'm not alone in saying that. We've got a little while to go. I really would like to. I want to pay my respects. I want to go back to where it happened. I don't know if I'd be emotional over it or if it's just yeah, I'm glad I did it. I don't know how I'd be. But I really want to go. Got a little while to go yet. David, I was in the New York City area at 9/11, but that day I was on the way back from my grandmother's funeral in, I don't know where NC is. Had I been at home, I'd have seen it all from the West Side Highway. Bleeding neck. Bleeding heck. I know so many that suffered unbelievable loss and pain of walking through the jet fuel downstairs, or spent over a year in hospital from unbelievable burns. Ingrid, I'm in, Deborah and Karen. It's like a mini little GoFundMe thing. North Carolina, thank you. I don't know why I didn't know that. I'm so sorry, David. Thank you, Heidi. Thank you. These are the ones who lost people have a different reason to be there than you. You have a reason to be there. It's for you. I don't know what I'd get from it. I know I wouldn't get closure. I don't know if I'd get acceptance, or I don't know if I'd be emotional. I don't know if I'd just kind of shrug it off and say, well, I've done it now. But I do want to pay my respects. I really do. I don't. I do and I don't. I know that the closest church to Dover, which is the English side, where we were coming toward, I know they have a plaque with all the names that were lost. And I can't remember if it's our side or their side. They have a plinth on the port with all the names that were lost as well. But I do want to pay my respects to them. I don't feel guilty. I know that'd be probably going through a couple of minds of yours, that I'd be maybe she's feeling guilty because she's alive and they're not. I don't feel guilt. I don't. I can't lie and tell you I do, because I don't. But I do want to pay respects. I do want to go back to where it happened. Stand up. Stand up and show my face. Stand up and brave it. And not crumble and cower in the dark. Oh, there's documentaries all over the place, Jill. All over the place. And so many have got, I mean, I've got 2 books down here on my bookshelf that talk about sea disasters, and it's in there. Every single documentary has got a different spin on it. They've got a different take. They've got a different look. And you don't know who they've got their stuff from. Even Gillian, who's the one that I had the reunion with, even she said that she's given her story to people and they've twisted it and changed it and made it to be different to what she's told them, but she's gone, I'll just take it. Which is just so wrong. I'm sorry, but if you're not going to take the facts, why ask? There's a few authors out there that weren't there, that have just taken accounts from things like newspapers. Oh yeah, great reliable source, that one. And just merged a few things together and gone, there you go, that's what happened, when it's complete rubbish. You won't know what you get until you do it. Exactly. It might give you a little closure. Nothing is going to give you total closure. No. I don't know if closure is the right word, because I don't know if I need closure. I don't know if I'm still open. That's the right wording. David, do it. You don't have to wait until a milestone anniversary. Do it when you can. For me, I'd want to go on a milestone. And the main reason I think for that is because there will be more people there that were there or that can relate in some way, rather than me just turn up on an anniversary and be there with a couple of people. It screw my anxieties. For me, I think I would prefer to go on one of the bigger anniversaries. I think it would mean more for me, and I think I'd regret it if I didn't. If I was to go like today, as an example, I don't think it'd mean as much to me. I don't know quite how to describe that. I'm really, really poo with words. Really poo. Yes, I would have been in the tower, except a work colleague had visa problems and I was asked to take his spot working in London because I had my passport. My husband also would have been there. I've got a lot of swear words at that, and I'm not gonna swear. But it's basically, oh, poo. Dang. That's putting it nicely. Gina, I agree with David, go when you can. Claptrap, maybe you can do it after the lockdown. Even if it feels daunting, it may give you the closure. Well, hopefully we're not going to be in lockdown on the 40th anniversary. Brenda, wow, Mare, you've been locked too. If people are willing to help you get there, Lisa, I'd like to see you get to the next one, and also a milestone one. I think once is enough for me. I think once is enough. But going to the 40th would be good. Got a few years yet. My husband was a paramedic and worked in that New York City area. But my son was young and my husband was Mr. Mom while I worked in the UK. Bless his heart. Bless his heart. Yeah, Heidi, do you know what? I'd be lucky. I'd be very, very lucky to get to one. I can't think of two. I wanted to go to the 25th. I wanted to go to the 25th. For the 30th, I did that reunion, and that was a huge, huge piece of the jigsaw for me. A huge missing piece was put into place at that reunion. And the fact that I only saw her for a few hours just wasn't enough. It really, really wasn't enough. But I think that was a little bit of closure for me. I think closure for me really would be talking to my heroine, talking to Caroline face to face. I think that would be closure for me, proper closure. But that ain't ever going to happen. But I don't see it as a gaping wound. I don't, because I've come to live with it and I know what to do and I know how to work around it, you know? Barb, if you need me then to travel to Seabrook so you can squeeze my hand to a pole poppy. I really do that. Sorry. No, I'm not sorry. Screw that. I ain't sorry. This is what all this is about. Let me do it. You can't see the chat now. Oh, look, there you are. It ain't Waterworld up there. There's actual words. Brenda, know when you're ready to go. When Lisa, you're strong to open up. I'm a very, very open person. I don't close off to nothing. Like Marie said quite rightly earlier, I've got verbal diarrhea. Grammy's back! Grammy! Oh my gosh! Twice in less than 24 hours! Hi, Grammy! Some things you live through, you survive, you seem to get over, and you go on. But it is still something that is part of you. You have to deal with your tragedies however you can, and that is fine. And we all deal with them in different ways. I have survived. I am a survivor. I'm strong, and I stand up for the most part. I'm starting to buckle a little bit in places. But thankfully, I've always been a very, very strong person. Very strong. I think you can go in private and on the anniversary. I ain't got the money to do one or the mean. It's not just the funds; it's the means and the funds. I don't drive, so that buggers a lot of things up. I wouldn't have the money to go even to Dover, let alone to Belgium. Oh, I feel a little bit sick. Oh, I'm sorry, but not sorry. Oh. Let's try that again, shall we? Sometimes guardian angels work in mysterious ways that we don't understand it. Going with that, Mayor. Going with that. Here's another thing that some of you are going to go, what a load of tat. It is what it is. Before that ferry disaster, I had an imaginary friend. Looking back, I don't remember him. I don't remember how I acted with him. I don't know. I remember twice talking about him. Once to my grandfather. And I can't even do the noise that he made when I told him. But when I told my grandmother, when I told Omar, and she asked what his name was, because apparently I never called him by his name, apparently. But when I told her his name and what he looked like, she showed me a picture, and that was him. And it was my great-great-grandfather, her great-grandfather. And he was watching over me. And after the ferry disaster, I no longer had an imaginary friend. And Oma said that he was my guardian angel. He was there looking after me. He was looking out for me. It's a good live, this one, huh? Thumbs up, people. Oh, gosh. Oh, Heidi, that is so sweet. You bless her. Barbie's in Holland, so she's kind of just above Germany, Belgium. For her, it's just a day's drive. It's about a day, right? Roughly. It's nothing for you. I've got to go over water. Water! Oh. Heidi, okay, YouTube. I'll just retype. Oh, it's done it. It's done it to you as well. It's done a Marie on you. I still wish I knew what Marie's message was because she didn't retype it. Brenda, that's right. Nothing to be sorry about. David, very sorry, but I have to go now. It was nice to actually see you. I know you've disappeared already, but it was nice to actually see you, Mr. David. Mare, sometimes amazing kindness comes from those angels among us. There's been quite a few, and there are some in here now, some that may be watching the replay. There's some wonderful, wonderful angels in here, around here. I've been so blessed since starting this channel. That was kind of a fluke. And I've been so blessed because of it. And a friend turned around originally and said, oh, yeah, but it's just because it's the Christmas season. And now she's saying, yeah, but it's because it's locked down. Nobody's got anything better to do. I don't care how it is, what it is. I'm so thankful to so many. So many in here. And I still want to turn around and go, why? I don't get it. I just don't understand. But I'm not allowed because this is the year of appreciation and acceptance. So I can't say all that. So instead, I will just appreciate the angels that are around me and have blessed me in so many ways and enabled me to do things that would take me a heck of a long time to do, if at all. So I'm very grateful. Very grateful. Grammy, you are so strong. Oh, wait. Oh, my eyes is stinging. Heidi and the little boy, young man who gave up his glowworm for it. Yeah, Oma knew his. I know where he came from. I know which bit of the town he came from, but I don't know his name. Oma did. Oma knew his name. I wish I knew. Because even as an adult, I'd love to thank him. I'd love to thank him. Lisa, we learn to carry our wounds in different ways. We do. We'll get you there with a proper driver. You mean one that's actually got a license? That's just funny. It's just funny. We will find a way. I rode the ferry from Belgium to London in '79. I wonder if you went through Dover. I've taken so many ferries, not so many ferries. I've been on the hovercraft and the catamaran and a ferry. Oh, I didn't tell you about that. Oh my gosh. Okay. So of course we're in Belgium. We have to come back somehow. We've got to come back. My mother had major claustrophobia, and there was no way she was getting on an aeroplane. So we had to come back the same way we got there. We had to go on a ferry again. Of course, my mother was a nervous wreck. I was excited. I was really excited. Don't ask. I don't know. And I remember we were sitting in the lounge in this boat. I'm not sure which one it was. I'm going to go with boat. And there was a little like cafeteria bit on the side of the lounge. And I was told to sit down, Lisa. Lisa, will you sit down? Lisa, keep still. Lisa, sit down. Lisa, get back here constantly, because I was so excited. And there was turbulence. It was rough waters. And the plates and the glasses that were sitting on the counter of the cafeteria were shaking, and a couple of glasses fell down and broke. Scared my mother ridiculously, which of course I understand. And for me, it was just, but I was excited by it, and that was on the way home. So that was good. But since I've been over to France on a catamaran and a hovercraft, and I've come back on a ferry, and I've had no problems. No problems. 4 hours for you, is that all? Oh, I thought it'd be longer than, I thought it'd be about 8 or 9 hours. Oh gosh. Hey, I travelled over the water a dozen times in the past 3 years. Did you swim, walk, fly a kite? Claptrap, I feel I understand what you're going through. I felt guilty when my brother died in an accident, but I didn't save him, although I was there. Adding to trauma, I wasn't allowed to go to his coffin to say goodbye to my best friend, my guardian angel. I was 10. Logically, I was unable to do anything at all. It didn't help. I guess when you're in that situation, it doesn't, I don't think age matters at all. If you're there and you're witnessing, it's all well and good in hindsight saying, if only I could have, if that had. But being there at the time, doesn't matter how old you are, it doesn't necessarily work like that. We don't work like that. But our brain overthinks, overanalyzes, and buggers us up. Oh, we've got so much chat jumping. And I'm sorry I keep sniffing. It's either that or let the snot drip. I mean, take your choice. Oh, Claptrap. Whisper, did you get the robe already, hun? As the goal is now a phone. I got it today. I got my Katab. It is called my Katab, and it is silver. Katab. I mean, I emailed you. I got it today. I got it this morning. I got it. I got my Katab. I got it. Thank you so much. Thank you. Yes, the new goal is a phone. Desperately. I need to give this one back before it's completely dead. I've had it way longer than I should have done. So it's about time that I sort it out. But yes, I do have my Katab. Claptrap, it took me decades to truly get over it. Did you get over it though? How do you get over that? How do you get over it? I guess it's more, for me, I'd see it more as living with, carrying on. I don't know if I'd say getting over it. I don't know. I haven't been in that situation, so I can't say. Oh yeah, I just want to point out something that I did with both glowworms. Can you see he's got a little hole? And he's got one there. And he's got one. Oh, why can't I see the one on that side? I thought I'd put one on that side, but I clearly haven't. But all along his mouth, he's got little holes too. And that's so he can breathe, so he can hear me, and so he can speak or eat. Because I felt really bad that he wouldn't be able to do any of those if I didn't give him holes. Yeah, I'm weird. I know. And sometimes you may be someone's angel and not even know it. Oh, I ain't nobody's angel. I'm an agony aunt every now and again, though. Every now and again. Karen, well, that's not nice to poo on other people's act of kindness. Oh, wait. I pooed on someone's act of kindness? What did I do? What did I say? The dressing gown. I pooed on someone's act of kindness. I don't know. Oh, I'm sorry, Karen, you're gonna have to elaborate. I'm so sorry. Jill, survivor guilt can be very hard. I understand it really could be, and I can understand why. Heidi, I knew you would want to see and thank him face to face. One never knows, it can still come to be. The smallest little things can mean so much. So much. Lisa, since finding this channel, I have enjoyed my days more. That's good. That's good. That's good. It's all good news. I am a silver lining on the odd occasion. Heidi, Lisa. Yes, Dover. So you went through Dover. Dover's a very, very busy port. Very busy port. Deborah, write a piece to the paper thanking the boy who gave you the glowworm. Spell it out like you did for us, but like a letter to the editor. Do they do that in England? Yeah, probably, but they won't want to know. It might be worth getting back to the radio station that did it for us, maybe. Because I know what the radio station was. Maybe. Possibly. Wriggles, I'm going to have to go. Turbo needs my assistance. Oh, does he now? And I miss saying goodbye, but I'll see you in the emails, Wriggles. Thank you. Deborah, what an amazing idea. It's a possibility. Barb, ferry from Calais to Dover. Is the Zeebrugge still a working port? I haven't even looked. I guess it was, but I don't know if it is. Take care, Wriggles. Bye, Wriggles. Barbara, sniff away. Gina, so sorry you had to go through all this. I'm so glad you had a guardian angel watching over you. I think my grandmother would agree with you wholeheartedly. What's a katab? My katab is my new dressing gown that was paid for by 2 donations. One donation came from Whisper, Barb, and one came from Katrina. So cat, katab. It is my katab. So I get hugged by Katrina and by Barb when I wear it. It's my katab. Marie, back. Sorry, but life is happening. Well, how dare it? Kick it up the backside and tell it to sit down. Welcome back. I have got your email. I just haven't opened it yet because I've been sniffing and snotting and all sorts. It is not getting over it. It is dealing with it, learning to live with it. Yeah. Heidi, katab, robe. Is a katab a robe? What's a katab? I haven't heard of that word. Katab? Katab. I wonder what language that would be. Katab. Turkish. Heidi, I had to look it up. So there's an actual... I want to know what language that is. I'm not looking it up because I'm busy. I've got to close this down pretty soon because I did say no more than 2 hours, and I've got an interview to do tonight in a couple of hours. In an hour. Flipping heck. In an hour. My lips are hurting. Lisa, my first time on a ferry was terrifying for me. Driving with 3 kids in a strange place. I don't ever want to do that again. I don't think anybody would want to do that ever. I think when we went to France, there were 4 kids, but 2 adults. 4 kids, 2 adults. You okay down there? Okay. Jennifer, you're welcome. Marie, Karen, know what your friend was saying. Oh. No, I get why she says it. I do get why she says it. I do. It's all she doesn't do YouTube or anything. And I suppose, let's face it, I wasn't expecting it when I did YouTube at all. And then you guys came out of the woodwork and it was just, and has been ever since. So yeah, Grammy, sorry honey, but I have to run. Don't run too fast because you could trip over. Protect your knees and your head and then go running. I know you've already gone, but thank you very much for popping in again, Gram. Me. She's a Grammy Award winner. Heidi, I don't think Karen meant that you pooed, but mentioning how others degraded the act of kindness. I poo on a very regular basis. Thank you very much. My bowels are quite handily doing their thing. They work. Yeah, Zeebrugger is still an active port. I thought it might be. Here, Katab, Moo. It's Moo. It's a Moo. Well, there we go. A Katab in a Katab. I am a Katab in a Katab. I named it quite well then, didn't I? Oh boy. Oh dear. Heidi, I want one. Talk about easy to wear. Mare, that is so cute. Katab, love it. Marie, low-key, Mom, too much of a breeze down below for my taste. Sometimes you gotta air, girl. You have got to air. Oh dear. But cheap AC. Well, yeah. I think the only thing that I hate about wearing, I love wearing dresses. I prefer wearing dresses. The only thing that I hate is that there's no material between my thighs, so my thighs rub together and I chafe bad. But in the summer, when I wear a dress, oh yeah, there's something between my thighs. It's called sweat, and it's bleeding horrible. And it doesn't matter how much I try and air out, it ain't enough air to combat that. That was a bit of TMI, wasn't it? That was really related to this video. Whew. Do pardon, lol. I could have used more clarity on the poo matter, but meh. Colon power, a good thing. I think so. I'm very lucky at the moment that my intestines, colon, sphincter all work perfectly. Won't be doing demonstrations though. I know I'm going to get emails of hate saying we want it. No, sorry. Suddenly glad that there is an R in my name. Ingrid, I wouldn't have a channel as well if it wasn't for you, Lisa, and all the yarn geekers urging me on to show me self and me makes. Oi, and look at now. Yes, look at you now. You made it to a Lisa spotlight, like the height of life. Bab. And that is why I always wear leggings underneath sundresses. Heidi, I hear that. Wait, let me rephrase. I can relate to the lack of space in that region. Marie, oh goodness, since I was about 6, I've never worn a dress. Give me jeans and a shirt and I'm good. Oh, Michelle, welcome in. Just as I'm about to say, do you know what? I'm going to start off now. I said that I'd be here maximum 2 hours, and I've been here 2 hours and 2 minutes. Yep, leggings or legging shorts. Pedal pushers. Oh, if only I could get proper pedal pushers. Bless her, Mum sent me a pair of... Oh, it's a brand name. Under Armour leggings. Best pedal pushers I've ever had. Best pedal pushers ever. Still got them. Somehow they still fit. But I think I'm going to have to get myself another couple of pairs because I've bought a couple of pairs that you can't get pedal pushers for anything now. But I wear through them far too fast. And the Under Armours have actually lasted. So I think I need to get another couple just for when I'm wearing dresses, you know. That is me on the daily, Marie. Deborah, I'm too round to be comfortable in jeans. Yeah, I'm getting that way. I'm getting that way. Under Armour, awesome stuff. I'd never heard of it till Mum sent me them, and I had no clue. And then I looked them up, and I'm like, oh my gosh. And I would have never started a channel if not for Penny, and many other big channels also would never exist if not for Penny's encouragement. Deborah, I have some pop fit leggings. What a pop fit. Perfection. Marie, lol. Deborah, didn't say comfortable, but I'm too pudgy to wear dresses. No. Depends on the dress. All my dresses, I have them, not all of them, but most just sit under the bust, so they keep me bust up and then they flow out from the bust. I like that kind of dress because then it doesn't matter how podgy you are. Nobody can see your gut. Nobody can see your thunder thighs. How have we gone from Ferry disaster to thighs? I don't know. Wanda, welcome in. We're just about to say goodbye, my darling. But thank you very much for popping in. Man, I love Kitty Mum. Oh. Barb, they have the best compression leggings, which seriously help my legs. They help my butt. Nancy, welcome in and congratulations. Congratulations, Nancy. Deborah, I'm in a dress. Now, just like Lisa described. It's the best type of dress. Ice thighs, easy mistake. Nancy, I want to hear your story. I'll watch the replay. I've been doing housework. I tell it I do tell my story, Nancy, and I tell it without looking at the chat. So I tell the whole lot and then I look at the chat. So it's all in one. So you don't have to skip forward or go back. It's all in one thingy. I think it starts about 10 minutes in. I think might be 15, but it's around there. Ingrid, since always, I never liked wearing jeans. The material is too hard. I like soft flow material and cotton, and too round for jeans anyway. Silly, but I've seen some bowling balls that wear jeans. I don't know how they wear jeans, but they wear jeans. Right, I'm clearing off. I'm going to close this down. Marie, thank you so much for coming back. I wish Marie would have said the message that YouTube took away, because I'm kind of annoyed that I didn't get to see whatever it was. But to all of you, whether you came in for the live or whether you are watching the replay, you've helped me this year, because I've been able to air at somebody and have somebody hear me. And I really appreciate that, because I won't have nightmares tonight. It doesn't make today any easier, but I don't go through this day each year in a mope, in a sadness, in a ball of blub. I don't. I mean, I am a blub ball, but you know, I'm not crying all day. I'm not in a sad state all day. I'm doing laundry. Well, I was doing laundry till I came to this. And I cleaned the bathroom and I've stripped the bed, half made the bed. I've got to wait till the Febreze dries before I do the next half. And I've sorted a couple of things ready for eBay orders that I've got to do tomorrow. So it's not like I'm just sat here going, oh, woe is me, oh, it's such a bad day. It's not. As long as I air it in however it comes out, all is good. And you guys have allowed me to air this, not what dresses help you air. So thank you very, very, very much. You guys had better say bye-bye to each other, because I'm gonna clear off. I like wearing skirts in my home. I'm not overly keen on skirts because they're just like trousers. They've got the waistband, and then I've got me dent. Thank you for sharing with us, Ladybird. Love your bunches. You need to go and get some rest, Mrs. Barb. Anytime, love. Now, I'm going to go into the kitchen and feed the hungry men before they start growling at me. That's how I feel about my stomach. Heidi, one of the sweet things that happened to me 3 years ago on this day is Heidi coming to live with me. On this day. Happy anniversary, Heidi and Penny. Karen, thinking of you, Lisa. Hope we helped you today. You did, big time. Big time. We'll see you for the spotlight. There's a spotlight in 50 minutes. I can't remember who it's with. I'm sure they're not important. But in 50 minutes, there's a spotlight. Thank goodness you won't have to see me. Jen, I'm glad to have been here with you. Thank you, Jen. Thank you. Ingrid, thank you, sweetie, for talking with us, talking to us and shared, open up. It's all good. Love you and all you lovelies. See you guys maybe later in the spotlight. Maybe. You won't see anybody. Nobody. Your eyes will be shut. Deborah, see all y'all on the YouTube streets. I'll be recording a video when I get done working today. Don't work too hard. You know, there's only so much blood in those hands. Jill, so I rode the Spirit of Zeebrugge in 79. I fell asleep on the bus tour of London. Oh boy. Oh boy. It's nothing exciting, Jill. London's horrible. I don't like London. I lived there and I don't like London. I visited there a few times. I don't like London. I don't like London. Anyway, you guys, thank you very, very, very much for being here. I'm going to advertise because, you know, this is my chance. If you're a creator and would like to be in my Building Creators Bridges shout out video, give me a poke in an email. If you want to say hi, give me a poke in an email. Email address is down below. And as soon as I stop this, I will put the link to the reunion video of myself and that little girl, now woman, Gillian. I will put that in the description below. But thank you all very, very much, whether you stayed for 5 minutes or whether you stayed for the entire lot. I really, really, really appreciate it. So thank you so much. Have a good day. Have a good evening. Have a good one, whatever that one is. And if you have the chance, smile at somebody close. And if you're able, give them a hug.